Hello, 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 hello. It is your boys, the DM podcast, once again giving you that flavor in your ear. We missed last week mainly because of me. Man's had a really tough cold that lasted all week, but we surviving. We're gonna talk more ball because a lot of basketball to chat about. Can't wait. I can't wait to do this pod. I just couldn't wait to do it. I can't wait. I love talking basketball with my boy YS. How's everything going?
You already know every day above ground.
Course, as long as we're above ground, then we're good. Make sure, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys comment on whatever you guys want to comment on. It's gonna be good because health permitted. We'll be here every week. Health permitted, we'll be here every week. But sometimes that Canadian weather gets us.
Huh.
It definitely gets us. So I was thinking like it's so cold outside, that like so I don't want to be going outside. Some days I
Really?
just I don't want to be
Really?
going outside. Like if you don't need to go outside, just don't go outside.
Trust me.
It's
Especially this week coming up.
oh my
Crazy.
God, it's incredibly mad cold. In today's pod, we'll talk about the top 50 that we named before, who we kind of saw, who we think is high, low. We're also gonna talk All Star. Pick some All Stars that we think. I think this year's been very tough. There's a lot of guys who are gonna be missing. We're gonna talk throughout that, probably about some Houston Rockets because there's some Houston Rockets guys that need to get some love. Got to talk about who we could think start. Does Steph start? Does he not? Then there's of course guys like Luca who only played like I think
Mookie.
15, 20 games. Just guys like that. Like can't we even chat about them? And of course a little bit some Raptor talk because Boucher's been the MVP of this Raptor team for the past week. And once again, like I said in the podcast before, play well, Boucher. The price has gone up. The price of the brick has gone up for sure for Boucher. It definitely has gone up.
Brickwork.
Ooh, so I was like first I was looking at some other top 50s, and I thought about our top 50. And I'm like, okay, like we had a lot of guys that we picked top 50. I should actually pull up my list as I'm speaking. In our top 50, like obviously it's gonna change. It's based off the perspective of that current moment, of the guys we see at that current time. And one of the reasons why I bring this up is because I just want to simply ask you. I'm gonna go straight to this question. Victor Wembanyama, a guy who we both believe is a good player.
Ball. He can ball.
Is he already? Because I'll ask you first. Is he already a top 10 player in the league?
Top 10 player in the
Top 10
league.
player in the league.
He's he's the top 15.
Top 15.
Top
Where do
15.
you remember where you had him last round?
Let me see real quick.
I had him 22nd. I know for me I had him 22nd. 22nd. You're not bad. Like, for me, I've seen a lot of people put him top 10. Do I think is he playing really well right now? Yeah, there's no doubt. Like he's been amazing this season.
I
There's no
have him at 21.
20, see, that's 22, yeah. So now you would say he's a top 15 player, right?
I would say now, right now, yeah, he's a top 15 player. Because I have Butler at 15, but you know what I mean?
Right. Like this
The thing
season,
with Butler, it's weird for him this season because it's like we know Butler can play, but it's just the drama and the Pat Riley and that whole thing and him being suspended is ruining the whole aura and the whole energy around that, right? So that's why it's like it's hard to switch Butler from that because you know what he does what he did this year and all that, but it's
whatever team Butler's going on, you're going to, which could low-key be the Spurs if you just think about it. It could low-key be the Spurs. Because they have the assets and the draft capital to potentially do the trade. But
that's
yeah, like Jimmy can make any team a contender immediately. Yeah, I also agree. Like Wemby's 25, let's say 25, 11, and 4. He's shooting,
he's 25, 11, and 4. Hold
yeah,
on, 25, 11, and 4.
like 24.5, but I normally try to go
Yeah,
up. So 24.5,
11, damn.
11 and 4. So his
11, and you're talking 4 blocks?
I didn't even look at it. Let's look at the blocks
Because
too.
he's definitely averaging 3.5 blocks
Oh
minimum.
yeah, easily. He's averaging it's not 3.5, averaging a legit 4. legit
Four
four,
blocks he's averaging.
four blocks, which
Holy
is
shit.
like his free throws are good, 80, pretty much 87%. He's
Damn.
shooting this year 35% shooting the three.
It's not great, and he should be shooting less, but that's another story.
That's a whole other story. That guy's shooting way less. But yeah, so like numbers wise, he's good. Like, and I think
So he's 25, 11, 4, and 4 blocks.
so when we say it, that's a top 10 player. When we say the word, the numbers, it's top 10. Defensively, the man's probably defensive player of the year. Like I think the man has it like going. He's gonna
Because
win
I'm
it.
just giving like, Joker, Giannis, Curry, Braun, like I'm giving those guys KD their flowers still, right? That's why I'm not. But outside of those guys,
And then you said those guys. I think you said like five, six guys. You still got Luca, Shea,
Luka,
Tatum.
Tatum, yep. That's eight,
You
nine.
you have to go, yeah, AD, Ant. You have to go Joel
That's
Embiid.
11.
Like now,
He's 15. He's 15.
he's
He
top
can.
15 for sure. Like I just think like if you're starting a team this year to win a title this year, you're not picking him right away. You're
The
just
thing
not.
is, if you're picking to start to win a title this year, that's the quote this year.
Yeah,
I
this
agree.
year. Yeah, he's not top 15.
If you're picking a player to start a franchise, he's the youngest. You're gonna pick him.
He's number one probably.
He's definitely number one. He's
Yeah, he's
definitely.
probably number one. I'll put him over Jokic and like Luca. But no, I'll put
I'm putting him over Luka. I'm putting him
yeah.
over.
He's 21. He's like he's still giving you 24.5,
Because that
11,
that
and 4.
stat line, like Luka will get you a little bit better stats, yes, but then defensively, Luka is just a
He,
pylon.
he's a pylon. You can't even. Yes, I agree with you. Wemby's not top 10 just yet. Now, will he be top 10 probably next year? Probably. Probably.
When
I
those
hate
guys
crowning
retire,
mans.
Curry, Braun, like a couple of years, he's top five.
Yeah, yeah. Like I hate crowning mans. Like I really do. You've always known that about me. I don't like giving mans the mantle and saying, okay, he's the king going forward. None of that. But next year, his team is probably going to be a top like five team, top four team because they're going to get all better. He himself's going to get better. If they make a crazy move, which I think they have the potential to make a crazy move for a De'Aaron Fox or something um, like who knows? Who knows? Now, looking at your top 50 guys, is there any guys that you can immediately say, like, I was way too high on? Like, this guy should go way lower on the top 50, maybe not even be on the top 50 list.
Definitely one that stands out, Tobias Harris.
Yes. Yes. What number did you have him at?
I had him at 44. He shouldn't be on the list in general. Like Tobias Harris will really make a list of top 150 NBA players, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Top 50, no. Like that automatically stuck out to me. I'm like, yeah, what the, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I made an adjustment. I made a couple adjustments because for the most part, I feel like my list is still pretty solid with what's going on in the league right now and
Right.
everything. So, but it's still pretty solid. Still, yeah, yeah,
Um, I'll ask you maybe. So the guy who I thought of a few guys, right? But Joel Embiid, am I just saying that because we both know he's a top 10 talent? But I think this is the same way I'm starting to feel about Kawhi. Joel Embiid's getting that same list for me.
yeah, yeah.
Like we keep giving you all these like we're giving you like benefit of the doubts a lot. Like you're injured, you're this, you're that. But when healthy, we know how talented you are. When healthy, you know what? When healthy, Brandon Roy was like that guy too.
Mm,
Derrick Rose is the MVP. We can't talk
mm.
like that.
You're honestly absolutely right. Like I agree with you, but except the part when you said the Kawhi because Kawhi has two rings.
He does
So,
have two rings. Yeah, he has
so
something to back it up. You're right.
So it's like I hear, but it's like I have two rings with two different teams. So it's like that, you know what I mean? So there's a dynamic there. Embiid has not gone to the Eastern Conference Finals yet.
Yeah,
So the thing with Embiid and Kawhi is more serious. Like you get his demeanor and all that, right?
fair, fair.
Embiid is you see him falling on fans and stuff out of bounds. So it's like eating burgers before games and stuff like that. Even when Kawhi was young, Kawhi he wasn't doing that, right?
I
So
know. Yeah, I'll most likely take Joel Embiid out the top 10. Another guy that I think we both agree on Paul George, but do you wanna I know Paul
I
George.
took him off the list. I took him off my list. I
I
took him off the
have
50.
a feeling that I know
I took
you.
him off the 50 because I'm like, what? He's you're mid. You're a top 100 player now.
You know the thing is, like, I do think you're being a little. I know he's one of your favorite players, so you're angry. I think you're angry. I think you're showing a little anger. Um,
Frustrated still. I'm
I
like, yo,
think you're frustrated because Paul George is a good player, but where do I agree with you? Yeah, because like,
took him
you
off.
know,
Like, is he, yeah, I took him off. Like, is he on the list? Yeah. Yeah,
like,
I took him
is
off the list.
he?
He's on the list. He's on the list.
Would I rather him than a lot of guys that we put like, yeah, I would like. I wouldn't want him so. He's so. Yeah, 20. I used 26 on my list. I think he's a little higher on your list. Paul George was, I think. But
Paul George was 14 on my list.
yeah,
And this is 3 months before the season just started, whatever. I'm like, okay, he's injured, whatever, right? Man, it's a bum, man.
he is,
Oh,
he is I think you're just angry. It's one of those. I get
angry.
it.
What are the stats in 30 games? Like, you played 30 games, I think. What is his stats? You're averaging 15, 16 a game. And
Yeah,
B's not playing there all the time. So why are you averaging fifth? What, Lowry's averaging double figures now? No.
yeah. I think him and Maxi should be like this team shouldn't be as bad with those two guys. I don't think so.
No, not at all. Like,
Nah.
I get
I think
Maxi scoring more than and he should be, but you should be a mentor to Maxi. Like, this is how you get it done, young fella. You should be that vet that's still getting it done. But Maxi, I'm handing you the reins. Like, that's what this should be right now.
the issue is, and this is where I kind of agree. For right now, is Paul George a top 50 player? And if we don't think about who he is and just think about right now, he's not a top 50 player
You're
because
right. I like
Norman
that point.
Powell is playing better than him. Like he
Yes.
just is,
Yes.
right? So,
Yes.
um, yeah, a guy who I'll ask you, maybe I'm just wrong because of the way the year has gone, and we don't hear about him at all, and we're both fans of him. Laurie Markkinen. Is it just because the Jazz aren't good? We're just not focused on him. When he gets on a good team, we'll remember that this guy's still a solid player.
100. This is how it always is. This is how it always
So I'll give him that. Like he's not being talked about, but like he should be.
Lloyd Marketing has never been on a good team since he's
Never,
been.
never.
He was on the Bulls and they're just trash. Still they're up and down, right? He was putting up numbers. You're telling
Yeah,
me this Finnish guy dunking on man hitting threes, like he's aggressive and you know what I mean? And he's got that utility 6'10" frame.
yeah, yeah. He'd be a really good like option. Like I imagine him on maybe like imagine him on like a Minnesota.
That's so scary. Him on Minnesota right now, you take out who? Randall?
They'd probably take out
Who,
Randall
take out Randall, they're in a higher spot in the West because of that 100%.
because he can shoot the three. Yeah, he can't play defense, but that's why you have Gobert. That's why you have McDaniels. You want him to be like, okay, we're gonna give you. Then I think you can tell Ant Edwards to
Just
not
want to be able
fucking
to
shoot
switch,
10.
stay in front, and play passing lanes. That's really it.
Yeah, and like then Ant's not gonna shoot fucking 10 threes a game,
Mhm.
right? He'll now he can drive to the lane, which he's actually really good at. Get fouled, but then at the end, you still got a Laurie Markkinen right there to hit
Crazy.
the ball. Um, so now guys who I think I rated too low, and like I'm really thinking it. Jalen Brunson, I rated him 16th. He
Yeah,
should be higher. He should be higher on my list. I think I put him. I think I put him too low, but I know how good he has been for the Knicks. He's like their guy. Probably been the best point guard on the squad. There's him, another point guard, which I know this will make you happy. I like this version of Trey Young. I like the Trey Young that
Yep,
averages.
I added on my list. Trey Young is 14th on my list. It's
I like
14th.
that's high as hell. That's high. But I like this version of Trey Young.
That's high as hell. What is Atlanta doing this season that no one predicted they would do?
Yeah, I didn't know they'd be this good. No, no, I didn't think so. I didn't think they'd be this good. You're correct.
DeAndre Hunter is balling like who else? Jalen Johnson's on the team doing his thing. Like they got guys that's like, you guys are winning with this squad. It's
Yeah, no, really. And the thing is, Trey's averaging way less points than he's like averaged in the past. He's a 27, 28 point. Spence averaging like 21 points a game,
yep, but he's leading the league in assists, I believe.
right? And it's because this is the best version of him. Like the
Yep,
when you need me, I'm here,
yep.
but everyone else gets love.
The
Everyone's
growth.
getting.
The growth. This is the season where you can see the growth. That's why, to me, he's 14th on the list, on the 50 list, period. Like,
He's good. They're 22 and 19. Let me go his stats real quick. He's averaging 23 points a game, which is still very low for Trey Young.
It's pretty good in the NBA, same way. And you know
And
what I mean?
there is there's a basically Jalen Johnson's averaging 20. DeAndre Hunter is averaging 19. Then you have Daniels averaging 13, which he's not a scorer at all.
And Daniels is averaging
Conley,
3 steals a game. Don't forget that 3 steals. I think he's leading the league in steals, Dyson Daniels.
yeah, it's a not a bad squad, man.
We
I
have
think
Clint in the lane, you Lob City type shit. So it's like, okay,
if you can get a young guy like in the Clint Capella role, which I think they're looking at like a Nick Claxton, get a young guy who can rim run and like catch lobs for Trey.
Nick Claxton's not bad still. He's getting better. He's getting better every year. He's still
He
improving.
is, right? And defensively his team is good, but I imagine them like with like another type of stopper, like another almost elite stopper. But there's only so much Herb Joneses of the world.
Oh,
Um,
Herb Jones on that squad is so scary.
Anyone else that you felt that like you put too low that you would put higher now?
Well, looking back at the list, I put too low, I put higher. On a real note, I'm gonna say I would put Cade a little bit higher. He's at 29, so I'd put him, a little bit higher than that,
I
right?
think you put 29 before.
Yeah,
See, I was disrespectful. I know I put them at 41, and I'm a Cade guy.
yeah. You're definitely like I would put him, and I would add on the list too, Darius Garland. I don't have him on
Oh,
the list. I would have him on
yeah,
the list.
agreed. Darius Garland is he's been playing so well, so well.
Also, a player I would have up a little bit higher, not too much higher. I have him at 35. Would be Harden. I move him up a little bit because Clippers are actually balling, and Kawhi's only played like 3 games.
I agree with you. I put Harden 43. If I had to redo it, I didn't remake a list, but like I agree with you. Harden is he's not the Harden that we remember, of
No, but
course
he's
not.
better than 35 on this list.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
From
I agree. He's playing good, man. The league is in good hands. The league is definitely in good hands. A guy that I'm pretty sure I put higher, or I put high, and I would keep him there. J-Dub. Okay, I've
Mhm.
already said my piece to you. I probably said it a couple pods ago. I get how good he is, and he's like a Swiss Army knife. He gives you the 18 points, 6 and 5, or whatever. I just want to see him do more. I don't care. Offensively, I want more. He needs to lead the team one game in scoring.
Okay. Oh, okay, okay.
I just need one game. Just give me one. But I really want like three. And I get it. Jordan scored more than Pippen. I get all that stuff. But like,
Pecking order, pecking order. You know what I mean?
sometimes I just feel like in this league, you should be able. Shea can't be giving us 30 a game to win. We don't
He is
every
going
game.
to eventually have a hot game. He has to.
Shea can't give you 40 each game. And you see the box score. You see it when you're even betting. Yo, if Shea not giving you 35, you're losing.
Shit over under is always 32 points.
Come on.
And J Dub is, yeah, he's not scoring. He's not scoring. He's getting better too. Remember, J Dub is still getting better.
I hope so. Because I
Wow,
think
that's
I think
level.
bro, I
Wow.
think I need my boy Chet to come and do his thing.
Our boy, not our boy. Shout out
Yeah.
Chet.
Shout out to Chet still. Uh, a guy who I put 30th, to almost wrap it up, but like Zion. I
Oh,
put Zion 30th.
bro. That's funny you brought that up because thank you. Thank you. You're my dog. You want to continue.
'Cause I was gonna say with Zion, I get still the talent is there. It's
I was
it's
there. Yeah.
definitely there. But then I also think to myself, I just talked about Joel Embiid, and Zion is the fucking kingpin of this shit. The man got suspended for not going to a team, like missing a
Meeting
team
practice.
bus. Yeah, like what are you doing? Like come on, like this is. But everyone's like, oh, because he just doesn't want to play for New Orleans. He doesn't want to play for New Orleans. Bro, I don't even care. Like your NBA players gets like 40, $50 million a year. Like I really don't
You think
care.
we want to go to work at times?
Come
At
on,
times,
man.
not all the time. At times, some days, like, do we have that option? I'll miss
And,
the shift. I don't care.
like you're playing basketball, bro. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah.
So I don't know. Zion, he's a guy that like could literally be a top 10 player, but then also
Yep,
not be on your list at all.
yep,
Uh,
yep.
you know, you said
Because
you're happy that I mentioned his name.
I'm very happy because he was on my list before. At 22, I crossed them out. John Morant is there.
Oh, John Morant's that guy, man. I love John Morant. Love that guy.
Yeah, Zion, like this is before the season, the list, so we're thinking he's gonna play some games, right? But nah, I think that ship has sailed with Zion still. That ship sailed. Next, moving on.
I realized we didn't put John because he wasn't hurt. He was hurt, so I don't see John on my list.
Yeah, yeah. That's why we didn't have him, right? But
Yeah,
now,
that's why we didn't have him still. So yeah, because Jaw's definitely a top. With Jaw, if you take away the health, Jaw probably top 10 as well. Like he's top
yeah,
10,
with the health,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why it's crazy.
Respectively, he should be in everybody's top 25 list, John.
Easily, easily. Is KD? He is. I think so. I think so. Is KD
Definitely,
still top 10 for you?
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
and I agree. I agree.
Overall, Katie's body of work, he's played way more than majority of his games, right?
Hmm.
Overall body of work. He hasn't really missed seasons like that unless the ACL, MCL, the 1-2 time, right? And he's 7 foot. So for him to play this much games and be mobile at 7 foot is impressive as fuck, to be honest. Because you know and I know any mobile 7 footer, usually they don't play like 1100 NBA games
Right.
plus playoffs, deep runs
Yeah,
in the playoffs. They don't do that. They don't do that. Look at KP. KP's they put
definitely.
him on the shelf. A and B, like any man that's big. Look at Chet. Chet's more of KD's build. Chet's in it already, right?
No, I agree. I definitely
So
agree.
the next man up we're gonna see is Wemby if he can play like KD and not be injured in one. That's the real test now.
I think, yeah, going back to full circle what we talked about with Wemby, I think it's everyone's biggest fear is like, can he stay healthy? Because him healthy, then we know what the future can hold. But him unhealthy, you
Tough,
immediately have to think of like, you got to
tough,
pair this guy with another guy,
tough,
or
tough.
you have to like diminish his own game, right? Just so you can keep him healthy, right? So I don't know. But yeah, that was just the top 50 guys. I was thinking like, man, which end of the season, if we make another list, we'll see. But there's so much guys that we can mention. Like, shouts out to Donovan Mitchell.
Yep,
Cat has been good.
yep,
Triple J has been really good this
yep.
season. Uh, Chris, not yeah, Cash Money Chris, and then Brandon Ingram. They're probably more lower and on the totem pole.
Yeah,
Guys like
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mobley, Franz, Sangoon, higher.
Yo, France, shoot, man. That guy is a guy. He's
Right.
a guy.
So
When's he supposed to come back? Shit, it's a while, huh?
I think I think it could be before um the freaking break. I think before the break or right after the break.
Okay, okay.
But they need him back though, for real. I do agree. I do tend to agree. Okay. Now let's look at the All-Stars. Right? The All-Stars are coming. We see the fan voting. Now, fan voting is only 50%. There's still going to be the GM, no, the coaches and the
Yep,
players, right?
yep.
That's why there's certain guys that just won't make it, no matter what the fan vote's telling you. They're just
Facts.
not going to make it. Um, it's like when who was that? It was a European guy back in the day. It was from Georgia, was it? Not Zaza Pachulia. Was it Zaza? So one of those bands were like top in like voting.
Back in the day, shoot, was Zaza one? I think Zaza was one of them. I think one
And
time.
I don't know. I feel like it was Zaza who was like leading vote getting.
I think it was Zaza. It wasn't Turkaloo. No, no.
No,
Yao
no,
Ming
no.
that year, obviously.
Yeah, but it was like a guy who wasn't great. I remember a guy who wasn't
Yao
great.
Ming actually deserved to be an all-star those days. So it's not even
Oh,
like
yeah,
China was dick riding still. They got that shit right. He was 22, 10, 11, and
right.
like a couple blocks and had footwork and had a touch and he could have free throws. Like he
Which
was
is
legit.
exactly Wemby, right? Because it's Wemby. Like Yao Ming is Wemby.
If he was playing in today's NBA, he would be hitting threes. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
and Yao was
100%.
hitting threes then too. That's the crazy thing. Yao had a touch. Yeah, had a touch. So it's like I don't know. So we can go east or west first. Which side do you want to go first?
We're on the East Coast. Shout out to East Coast, West
Okay.
Coast. Yeah, you know West Coast. We show you love, but it's East Coast early.
So the starters are two guards, two forwards, a center. The bench, I believe, is like two guards, three forwards, but the center can jump in there, whatever. And there's two wild cards that normally gets picked by the coaches. And then there's gonna be a bunch of guys missing the cut. I think for me, the East, no, the West was harder than the East for guys because everyone's an argument. Like the whole thing's an argument. The whole thing.
Mhm.
That's why I think there's no true right answers. Like there's some guys who I think are gonna be for sure is on our list,
Yeah,
but there's other guys who are just like, man, you pick. I'm gonna spoil a little bit. Like, oh, you pick, Van Vliet. Oh, I pick Tari Eason. I'm just
yeah,
obviously not the Rockets
yeah,
players, but
yeah.
guys like that.
No, no,
Okay,
100.
so your Eastern Conference starting five is who?
Starting five East is Jalen Brunson.
Mhm. Agreed.
Okay, Donovan Mitchell.
Agreed. So that's our backcourt. I think that's the most. That should be the most obvious backcourt. I think the East starting five should be obvious, but
It
who
should
knows?
be,
Should be.
but I'm gonna throw it off here a little bit. Throw it off here because you got Tatum,
Tatum. Okay, got him.
you got Giannis,
Yep.
and you got Turner, Miles Turner.
This guy is crazy. You picked Miles Turner
Five, yeah, yeah.
over Karl Anthony Towns.
I have Towns on the bench. He's a five. Towns a five.
Yeah, he's a five on the squad.
He's a five on the squad.
On the squad, yeah.
Shit. Okay. I'll switch them. Then I'll switch them. Okay. Cat.
Cat.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought he was a okay. I thought because I'm so used to thinking Minnesota Towns,
I agree because that's where it's a little difficult, but
and I forgot Harkenstein is on OKC till now. So I'm just
yeah.
like, okay, okay.
Because like yeah, with Karl Anthony Towns, yeah, he's a center. But mind you, they're trying to find a center, so he doesn't play center. Like Anthony Davis. They're trying to find a center, so the man does not have to play center.
Okay. Okay.
Because I
Okay.
think if Mitchell Robinson was playing, I think they were going to play Mitchell Robinson at the five.
Yeah, what happened
And
to Mitchell Robinson?
he's hurt. He's still hurt. He's been hurt.
Still?
Yeah, still legit. Legit. Still hurt.
I'm coming up like, yo, what happened to Mitchell Robinson? Did he see the G League or did they waive him or some shit? Or is he just somewhere
I
buried?
think they were gonna do some with him, and then they're like, let's keep him. Because I think playoff wise, you don't want Cat at the five,
Hell no.
right? You
Hell
want
no.
you need another five,
Because
so
man's gonna be scoring the paint with Cal
easily.
five.
Unless you're just gonna tell OG to play the five and Hart's a 6'4" power forward. Like, what are we saying here?
So you gotta have the thing is the perimeter defenders are pretty legit, which will save Cat. You know what I mean? Because you have Bridges too that could still. He's an elite. Like those two are all team are first team defense. Bridges and OG like on the same squad is fucking ridiculous. It's like Rodman and Pippen. Why do you think they
Yeah,
win?
legit. It's a that's a squad. Tatum is very obvious. He's doing really well with his rebounding this year. He's scoring. Giannis has just been Giannis, top
This has
three
been
player in the league.
honestly.
And then Donovan Mitchell hella deserves it because he's just so good and like the squad is so good, but we're the same people. We're saying the same thing. We see what you're doing. We're all saying good job at the record you have. You beat Boston, you beat OKC. We all seen it. Cool. We need to see you in like
Yep.
some June
You
games.
see him in at least May, end of May.
At least end of May. At least end of May.
It's
Yeah, if you don't make it to June, like June, we can understand because it's hard to make it to June. You have to be elite to make it to June.
it's
So
hella.
there better be a May 26th game. Okay?
I like that.
The way y'all play, it better be like that. Okay. So that's our start. Start five is chalk. We both agree. Um the bench.
Shout out to the bench. So we have Turner on the bench now. Okay. Shout out to Turner.
So the thing is I can see why you put Turner because a big, right? And there's not a lot of bigs.
That's the thing, because I'm not putting Embiid. No,
Not at all. He doesn't even just he shouldn't
no.
stare at here. He then shouldn't look at it.
And
Okay,
if we
so
look
who
in
are
the
your
East at centers and bigs, like in the top teams, I'm gonna say like Cavs. You Unless you want to put Allen. Like Celtics is who's in Celtics? Horford.
Horford, no, he's a no.
Horford, no. Knicks, you already know it stands. Bucks, you're not putting Brook Lopez. Pacers, Turner, you gotta Turner. Hawks, you're not putting Clint. Magic, who's their guy? I don't even know right now.
Yeah, they don't really have a center, right? So like, okay, name your next five.
Okay, so right now I got Garland off the bench.
Agreed?
No particular order, no
Yeah.
guards.
Yeah.
Garland off the bench. Miles,
Hmm.
Trey Young,
Agreed.
Kate Cunningham, and Bam.
That five guys you named?
Yeah,
Trey.
Miles, Trey Young, Cade, and Bam. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'll spoil it quickly. I picked Cade. He's my wild card. I picked Cade, but he's my wild card. He's
That's,
not
that's,
my
that's fair.
and the only reason he's my wild card because if we do like guards and whatever forwards, like the two guards, my two guards are Darius Garland,
Mhm.
which you named, and Trey Young. Very obvious guys. Those two guys deserve it. Garland's been the second best player on the Cavs. Some games, the number one player. Check that, J Dub. When the first guy's not there, you got to be number one. Just so you know, J Dub. Just to throw that out there. Um, I picked, of course, Jaylen Brown. I'll assume that could be like your wild card because he
He
should be
is,
an
he
all star
is,
as
he
well.
is, he is, he is, he
And
is.
then my bigs, I picked Paolo. And the reason why I picked Paolo
He's
for
in my
my
wild card, so we kind of got everything how.
right, and the reason I picked Paolo is because what he did in the beginning. But I do understand if people don't pick Paolo, he just didn't play enough games. But then I think about it by February, because he's playing now, he's gonna play enough games.
He is, he is, he is.
So then
Paulo's
I picked Paolo on that one.
he's a guy. Paulo's a guy.
And then I think you named someone that I didn't. Oh, you had Miles Turner. So for my second wild card, I picked Pascal Siakam.
Okay, okay.
Once again,
I was
I,
thinking about that, but
I think you got to pick a pacer. The thing is, you saying Turner, in another life, I wouldn't even bat my eye on that because like
'cause I'm looking at five, like a
looking at
legit five.
a big like, and thing is, he hasn't had a bad season. Had a pretty good
Exactly.
season.
Indiana is winning 24-19.
Right, they're winning games. But I picked Pascal because he's been the most consistent guy. And if I'm not thinking of a center at all, then that's just another big. And then my other big was Mobley. So my first next
Mobley's
five
too
was
consistent for me. Like he'll look like a fucking like a stud one game. The next game is like, is this the same Mobley?
yeah,
Giving me kind of D-Lo vibes. Not to
that's
diss
great.
Mobley, not to diss Mobley, but in a
I hear
sense,
you.
the inconsistency is like, yo,
I hear you. I hear you for sure. And then like
Mobley is nice. He is nice. Do not get it twisted.
I'm like, well, I'm like the Cavs. Do they get three guys? Like, do they get three guys? That's why I picked Mobley. So technically, I picked Mobley, Garland, and Mitchell, all from the Cavs. Because though Mitchell is the number one guy,
Mhm.
that number two guy, I do think it changes. One game, it is Mobley giving you a double double. Then it is Garland sometimes.
Mhm.
So, and defensively, Mobley's been really good.
Very. First team.
Right, right. And
First
then
team.
like
Mobley this season averaging 18.6, 9 boards, 3 assists.
And defensively, this team has been so good that, like, heck, if you said Allen as All-Star this year, once again, how do you go like you're so wrong? Like
Uh,
this season, because of injuries, I don't think there's like a bunch of you're out of your mind answers. I just don't think so.
mm, mm, mm.
No, I don't think so at all. So yes, I think we almost got like pretty much the same people. I think we take away. Like, I think basically our biggest one is Pascal and Miles Turner. We both just picked a different pacer,
Yeah.
which then leaves out who's missing, Tyrese Halliburton. But I think we both agree you started off so poorly that you've been playing a lot better now.
You have
But
been,
like
you know.
Turner and Pascal are the reason you guys have stayed afloat. While you've been playing like trash, they've been staying afloat.
But even if I feel like he was doing what he was doing right now, Brunson, Donovan, Darius, Trey Young, they're just they're guys. They're guys that they got more of a bag than you. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can ball Halliburton, you can ball, but Trey Young don't need no pick. He's killing you.
Yeah,
Darius Garland is killing you.
yeah. This year, yeah,
Jalen Brunson is killing you with no pick. With the footwork in the post too, even if he picks up his dribble, he's killing you. And you got Donovan Mitchell, he's just flat out killing you.
right.
So it's no diss to Hallie, but those guys
Just
are
doing
guys.
better. This year,
Yeah,
they're just better than you.
it's just
Other guys that I had on my list that are missing. So a big that you didn't mention, which I get it because of the team, but Vucevic has overall
yeah. I was looking at team performance. You could tell in this. Yeah, yeah.
right, and but Vucevic has overall had a good season,
He's having a better season the last couple of years, I feel.
right, and like
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
he's a 20 and 10 guy. His defense not like it's out of the world, but it hasn't been like pylon-ish.
Not a pylon, so he's a
He's
moving
moving,
force.
right? And like teams like Phoenix are like dying for him. I think G State really wants him.
Yo,
Uh,
Phoenix swap him out for Nurkic. They'd
but
be
if
like,
they don't want Nurkic at all. He's now like a third because they traded for Nick Richards. So I think Nick Richards is gonna probably start. Then
hold on, Nick
Plumlee's
Richards is on the Suns now?
yeah, he just got traded.
Charlotte Hornets, Nick
Yeah,
Richards?
yeah, not
That's
bad.
a good
Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy
So,
has actually got better in the last couple of years. I'm not gonna lie, he got better, more confident. He can shoot the free throw too. Like,
yeah.
not bad.
So he may be their starter, and then Plumlee's gonna be their bench guy. So that leaves Nurkic off the like he's the third. And if you're a third center,
Hold on, Nurkic is really the third. Plumlee is before. I'm really taking it in. Plumlee is the second off
yeah,
the bench
they really don't
center.
fuck with Nurkic like that.
Nurkic is wow. For that man to be having that pay grade and for him to be
Yeah,
third is kind of crazy.
I don't. It
That's
sucks.
actually crazy.
Zach LaVine has had a good season as well. But once again, Chicago's just not winning enough games to like
Yeah, like
garner.
Chicago.
They need to start losing more games. We didn't pick any Sixer, obviously. We didn't pick Maxi. Like he's the only one that deserves to be
Yeah, but
mentioned.
because they're so ass, is like you guys are 15 and 25,
Right. Right. Just because
right?
you average 25 points a game doesn't mean you should get it.
And it's the bad season that the Sixers have been having with the injuries and the record is just overshadowing Max's performance in
Yeah.
general. It was just so like, oh, Sixers, oh, was PG playing? Oh, Embiid, oh, these guys can't. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Dame, if Dame played better, I
Yep,
think he would be a person.
yep,
A guy, oh, you mentioned Bam. That's why. I'm like, oh, there's a guy. I didn't write Bam. I don't know why I didn't. But you know why I didn't write Bam? You know who's been the best player in Miami Heat this season? And I swear you mentioned this guy last year. I
yeah.
swear you mentioned this guy last year for an All-Star. I
Keep
truly
them
think
kind
so.
of afloat still.
Like Tyler Hero has been playing so good this season. Yo, the man had like seven threes in a game like 2 nights ago against like
It's
the Lakers.
hard. It's hard because the guards I feel like got because remember Cade is on the list too. Is like
Can you say it? Kate deserves it.
Cade is like the Heat. If you look at it, they're both 500. The Pistons and the Heat.
Same. Yeah. So then you just gotta go like who's just been more impactful for their team. And like, but it's been Kate. Kate is the whole engine.
Cade, it's Cade. Like Tyler has been, but there's no other real guy on the Pistons other than Cade. Like who's a real guy on the Pistons aside from Cade? Like
Oh, real guy? Nah, they don't really have a real guy. Because Ivy was playing like a guy, but right now Beasley's just like having a spectacular 3-point percentage year.
he's a gunner, but who's like at least he has Bam, Tyler,
Yeah.
right? He has Bam. That's like okay, like if Cade had a Bam, like yeah,
Oh,
that'd
shit.
be.
Damn, that'd be nice. This is where once again Detroit should call Chicago and be like, yeah, Ivy's hurt. What is Zach saying?
Holy
But then
shit.
are we jumping the gun then? Are you jumping the gun?
You're a little bit, but I know you want progress. Pistons are already making some progress this year,
Yeah,
so
so you're right. I'm, and Ivy should be back next year, and you don't want to stunt that growth. But I do think
yes.
that they already have a ceiling, like, because, like, unless they get a better big, like, they need a better big. I like Jalen Duren, or like a better wing, that they're stuck, in my opinion. They're stuck. But yeah. Okay, let's go Western Conference. Anyone in the East that you maybe wrote down that you want to mention, give any love to?
Mm,
We didn't mention LaMelo. LaMelo's
yeah,
lead
you already
better,
know.
but.
You already know. But the team success, shout out to LaMelo. You already know he's my guy, but you already know.
Swerve on that corner. Whoa, whoa.
That's the reason. Going back to Detroit, that's the reason why the Lions lost. People are saying.
He said, like, brought that man
Jeff
there.
Probst was ass. I'm like, what is this guy doing? I just no
They,
stage presence. Well, yeah,
yeah, he
him,
had like he had. I don't think he knew what he was doing, like performance wise. I don't think he knew what
look
he
at
was.
it. Yeah. Y'all got a first time, and he's in this big
Yeah.
ass stadium doing it too. Anyways,
Western Conference once again incredibly hard, like
difficult,
incredibly hard.
difficult. So shit.
But who are your starters for the Western Conference?
Starters in the West. Shout out to the West, by the way. Shout out to the teams up top there. West, I got Ja.
Oh, you got Josh starting.
I got Ja still.
Okay, okay,
I got Ja. I got Shea.
okay,
I got LBJ.
okay. Shea, me correct. LeBron, I correct. Cool.
Okay. Sengun.
This guy is changing the game. Okay.
And then Joker.
Wow, 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 wow. I think my one of my guys would be surprise you then. Because the crazy thing is that second guard could be fucking anybody.
It
Because
could
the
be.
first guard we all agree is Shea.
Yeah.
That second guard is so hard, bro. Like the jaw one, once again, is I'm not going like that's crazy. Like that because it's not crazy. Jaw
It's not
has
crazy. It's
played
just,
well.
yeah.
Right? He played well. And then but I'm like, okay, there's a guy named Steph, but like team success.
I'm looking at team success too in this, right? So,
Where's team success? So I picked Ant. Once
okay.
again, team success not really there as
They're
much.
still above 500, so it's
Right.
not like
And Ant's been like pretty good this season.
he has been. He has been.
So I gave it to him. We both agreed on LeBron and Jokic. My other big is Wemby. My other big was Wemby. I had to think about who's been
You
the
got
best bigs in on the conference, and like he's been a pretty good big on the conference,
he has been. He
right?
definitely has been.
So that's why I picked Wemby. Who is your next five?
My next five is gonna, you already know, Harden.
Wow.
Yep, yep, yep. I got no particular or no guard. Harden, AD, Luca,
Oh, you put Luca.
Ant. Yeah, I put Luca, Ant, and I'm torn, man, because I love Sabonis and Wemby. I'm torn
I say you go Wemby, man. I can't lie. Wemby should be an all-star.
because
Unless you could put Sabonis as your wild card.
my wild card I have like okay, my wild card Wemby's there. Okay, Sabonis out. Wild card without Sabonis is Steph and Triple J.
Hey, so mine just so my next five is Triple J. Because if I gotta pick a Grizzly, I would pick him.
Okay,
Because the Jaw one I like, but the Jaw one I keep games played. That's what I keep thinking. So Triple J, AD, who like AD's numbers are like 26, 12, and like 4.
it's crazy. It's
I was
crazy.
I was gonna come in this pod, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was gonna come in this pod and I was gonna diss him. But
You
his
were going.
numbers looks so stupid good to me.
Let me see the AD.
Because I'd be watching Laker games. Like I'd be watching Laker games. And I'd be like, I don't see I see Austin Reeves doing more. But maybe
That's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing.
yeah, I don't see a lot of AD doing much. Yeah, so the Triple J, AD, Sengun was my Houston Rocket.
Jeez, I can't believe.
Steph Curry, and I picked Fox over Sabonis as my Sacramento guy. Then my wild cards, I gave J Dub one of the wild cards because of winning.
Okay.
Do I agree? I don't agree with it. I based it off winning. But once again, I'm being like, I
All right,
based it off winning.
all right.
Norm, and I picked Norm, right? But I liked it over the Harden one, but because I just think Harden gets it over name, but Norm has, is he not averaging like 25 points a game? Like,
Harden is ball. I mean, Norm is balling. Norm is balling. Let's.
I swear Norm is like, let's see our boy Norm. And they're
Norm
23
is
and
averaging 23. Holy shit. 23 and 23.7 points a game, three and a half, 2.3 assists. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
But then you look at Harden, he's averaging pretty much 21, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. So
That's pretty
overall
legit
game,
still. I can't lie. That's actually pretty legit.
so that's like either or, one of them got to be there,
21, 6, and 8 is
right? So I get the Harden one. Your Harden one isn't wrong at all. I think Harden, one of them deserve it. Harden or Norm, both, one of them deserves it. Uh, you said Luca. We didn't pick him. This is my like this is just the guys who weren't picked. But if Luca wasn't to be there, I think Kyrie definitely deserves to be there.
100%. 100%.
Right? Kyrie's been good. He's kept them afloat.
He has been.
So I think he deserves some love. A guy we both didn't name, at least I don't remember hearing you name him, but technically deserves to be an all-star, but missed such a chunk of the games. But the when he missed it, the team was so trash. KD. Because when KD wasn't on the squad, Phoenix lost a bunch of games.
I know the Suns are overall disappointing in general, so that's why I kind of overlooked that. I'm looking at okay, new All Stars was my thing. Like, okay, some new guys here, right? Some guys, new guys that have good records. You know what I mean? That was my main when
Yeah.
I'm picking. You know what I mean? So
No, it
that's
makes
why
sense.
we got like Sangoon, for example, right? You know what I mean?
Um, yeah, it's just like Phoenix is 21 and 20. So it's just like it's one of those weird things because they're the same as Sacramento. Like, but this is where I think this
Who's
season is
got
one of
All
those,
Stars like Sacramento? Oh, shit, I don't know. Sacramento's disappointing still. Can't lie.
right? They've been well, they're like last 10 games are like I think 6-4, 7-3. Ever since having Doug Christie as their coach, they've been pretty good. This is where like once again when it comes to All Star, what are we saying? Are we saying games matter? Are we just saying individual stats matter? Impact, like what matters, right? Because KD's KD. KD has a legacy.
He
KD
does
will be an
have
All Star. KD's gonna be an All Star. He's gonna
he
be.
will be. Our list is not going to mean nothing to the
Yeah,
NBA. He will be an
yeah.
all-star.
Because coaches are gonna vote and players are gonna vote for him now.
Yeah, because
There's too much respect.
there's too much respect, and it's remember, it's like we're in the Brody League voting, and we're playing against these guys.
Yeah,
So it's like it's different. Like when you have to guard a KD, like
it
this
is.
nigga definitely
It
is
is.
an all-star. I cannot do anything to affect shit.
Now this is true. This is true.
Like KD this year is averaging 27,
KD,
6, and 4. Like,
KD, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah, you can't ignore it. And then when he wasn't there, they won one game. They won one game when he wasn't there.
that's pretty legit, Doug. And you're what? How old is he now?
I think
That's
36, 37.
36.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's weird. Once again, it's one of those transitions. We still have Steph, LeBron, and KD, and the league is ready to move on and give it to the Sangoons,
They're
the
still
Triple,
averaging
the Ants.
legit
Like,
numbers.
right. Like you want to move on, but you can't. They're still
There's
gonna
no
get the
can't
legacy.
because they're still playing. They're still playing the majority of games. KD, right? LBJ, Curry, right? Curry's averaging 23, 5, and 6. Like 36 years old. You serious?
I think
You
it's like
serious?
on a quick side note, you can tell that Steph is getting kind of like tired of some shit. Even though he's not saying it, he doesn't
Yeah.
want to he doesn't want to ruin the franchise for the future. But I think he's also doing that so he can tell them like, hey, it's time to trade me.
You think it's time or it's time to we need guys. Like I
Because
can't do
he
what I'm
said
doing.
him and Draymond are not going to the office and going like, don't make a desperate move. Don't go get Jimmy Butler. Chill. Don't trade Wiggins and Kuminga. We're okay. Don't do it. So they're saying not to do it. They're saying focus on making the young guys better. I think it's a ploy to be like, we're
No,
cutting.
man, like you guys don't fuck with Kaminga. So it's
How see since Katie's been back, the Phoenix Suns have won games.
of course pretty
Yeah, they
stupid.
did. They like, which once again is where I think we both talked about like a Devin Booker.
Hmm.
She's averaging 26 points a game, but it's like I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because to me, like, where have you been, my guy? Like, where have you been? Like, I don't know. We've seen you do a lot before. We don't really hear much of you right now.
No.
You're basically you let Mitchell, and take the best shooting guard titles from you.
Literally, literally.
So
Shoot, Curry, I think is averaging a 50, 40, 90.
I think,
No, he's averaging just the 40 and
mm.
90, not the 50, but yeah, 36 years old.
And look at Houston. Houston, I think, is the hardest team to predict overall. Houston, which is your team, which I give you so much kudos for the way you thought of that team. Um,
Shout out to the Rockets.
they are
Shout out to the Rockets, man.
they. I think it doesn't matter who. It could be either Sengun or Jalen Green, but it's one of them. It's definitely one of
Who's
them.
more of a leader of that team? When you think about Houston, who's their leader? Who do you think? Who's the first name comes to mind?
Well, lead, I think Fred
Okay. When you think of best player on Houston, who do you think of?
Sengun.
Okay, me too.
Sengun.
And I like Jay Green.
Right. He's the most dynamic offensive player, but overall, like making guys better and things like that, Sengun is just way a better one.
Like he's like the Clarkson 2.0, you said.
I really do think he's a Clarkson 2.0. I think someone says like a Malik Monk, like he's a volume scorer who can like athletically you
He
can't
can
mess
ball,
with.
though. Malik Monk can ball. Holy, he can ball.
Like athletically you can't mess with them. Like, but it's clear, from even doing this, there's just so much guys. There's so much guys that deserve it because of the injuries, because on certain teams you put two mans, you put one man. How much man should the Cavs really get? Should some would say four. Some would say get put all four,
We're
right?
not doing that shit again. I don't
Yeah, I
want
don't think
to
that.
do that shit
Unless a
again.
team is undefeated, unless a team is undefeated
Yeah,
or
unless yeah,
lost one
good
game,
quote. Good quote. No, undefeated. Undefeated. That's better. Unless team's undefeated. Good. Four mans.
then like you bring that much.
Because you
Because
need to spread
that's
the love. So you need to spread love. Like Hawks had 1 year, four mans. Like, you know what I mean? I think you had Damari Carroll there for no reason.
I think for that one is also because like the East was bad. Like the East is bad. Like there was really not much men's to put because it was so bad.
I think Pistons 1 year had four mans. I'm like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, when you're bad, that's when the East is bad. After those four mans, you had Jason Kidd, probably Kenyon or Jefferson at the time. You had VC,
Oh
and
yeah,
and,
good
and then
point.
probably a very young LeBron. So like, God, the East was bad. So
Ron, yeah, like a 03, 04,
yeah,
04.
probably Paul Pierce. You had it's not a good team.
Let me
Um,
stop this.
um, okay. The next thing that we had on the docket was our Raptors. That's the last thing. Well, Chris Boucher this week has been playing amazing, like amazing Chris Boucher
I think
games.
that man went perfect in the G State game on Monday.
Like the man has been, which they thank gosh they won. Uh, he's been really good. And then let me look at his last few games. Boucher. There's rumors that like a team like the Denver Nuggets have been looking at him. He's definitely gonna get traded. There's no question the man's getting traded. He's definitely getting traded. His last few games, okay, so the man had mm, he had 10 point, 23, 14, 18. Those last two were really bad, 5 and 6. But he's been good, man. Shooting to three at like a 60% rate in the month of January.
That's crazy. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. It is crazy. Still, yeah, he's averaging 11 points a game. Like
I
he'd be a
know.
good bench guy.
This is a great bench guy because he's what is he? 7 foot, 6'10", 6'11",
I like yeah, 6'10".
6'10". He's long as hell shooting the three.
They say he's 6'9".
Is he?
Yeah,
No.
6'9". He it was just his
Oh, shit,
birthday.
they're listed at 6'9" for real.
It was just his birthday, so shouts out to him. But yeah, like he to me he's a first round pick now. First, I was okay with a couple seconds for Chris Boucher, but if you're a good squad, you probably have a late first rounder now, or you have it in the future. I'll take a future first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Boucher.
definitely take a future first round pick for him.
Yep.
I'll
He's
take a
actually
for him.
balling. Let me look at some previous years and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would trade. him right now. Bruce Brown's stock has gone down, but you're hoping people still think of Bruce Brown like the guy who played in Denver because his value has gone down, down,
I
down.
don't.
He was our legit first round pick. He was our first round pick. I'm not sure we're gonna
Okay,
get
like now we got Boucher playing. Now we should be playing Bruce Brown. So I guess it works out. I guess it works
right.
out.
Like I think freaking Bruce Brown can give us maybe a 2 seconds. He can get us.
Yeah, Boucher's. This is Boucher. Yeah, this is the second best season of his career. It looks like.
No, he's playing good, man. He's playing real good.
Like
He's playing good. People are talking about, and I think it's too early to say, and I think we just have to see. Like Emmanuel quickly really hasn't been healthy.
no, he hasn't been.
He hasn't been healthy at all for the Raptors. So people are already saying like, oh, maybe that's the real odd man out. Because people are thinking RJ is the odd man out.
It's
But
definitely not RJ.
I don't think it's RJ at all. Because
Out of
like,
the three behind you, RJ's the best player. Right
nah,
now, let's keep it a buck. No, 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 no. Do not say Barnes. I do not want to hear it.
Barnes is. I think with Barnes, it's what you want him to be and what he is. Right? Like I think fans want they want Scotty to be a 25, 8 and 8 man, and he's that's just not him. It's just not going to be him. Scotty is a 19, 9 and 9 guy. He just
Hmm.
is with good defense. Like he
I don't
is
know. I think kind of boosting a 19, but hey, you give me a 15, 6 and 6. I'm good with that with him. That's still pretty legit.
nah,
You're
but he's
benching.
Scotty's averaging right now 19, 8 and like 7.
I'm talking we're winning. Is he going to be averaging us as a winning team?
No, I'm okay with Scotty having the ball in his hands during winning time. RJ is just the best at getting the ball into the basket.
I love. That's what I love. That's what we need. We need the ball in the basket. Like
I
we
think
have defenders. We
I
have
think
the defenders. We have length.
I think with quickly, I think everyone just wants it's an image thing, right? Like I'll say all the time, DeMar DeRozan got drafted to the Toronto Raptors because he looked like Vince Carter. He was a lighter skinned man who had a bunch of athleticism and could dunk. You believed in Vince Carter. It's simple as that. Okay. So you look at Emmanuel quickly, and as a guy that he played with in Kentucky, who's balling in Maxi. So you're dreaming that this next 6'4", little bit of dready man is gonna be fucking Tyrese Maxey, okay? That's what you're banking on.
Holy
That's what you're banking on,
broke it down.
right? Like Messiah, they don't give a fuck about RJ Barrett, especially when they got him. Now they may like him, but he's probably the best trade asset if a
Right now,
team,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, right now,
if a
yeah.
team really wanted to like I think imagine RJ on like the Lakers. Now defensively wouldn't be the greatest, but if you said RJ like, hey, we need 20 points, he can get you 20 points,
He could still. He could
right?
still.
I think Scotty's the overall all around better player out of all of them. Best defensive player on the whole squad. Um, he has like all NBA type defense in him, legit.
I could honestly agree with that. I could agree with that.
He's just not what even the fans assign them. They just want like they want a guy. They want a guy.
You can't force a guy. A guy
Yeah,
has to be a guy.
this just has to be him, and it's just not him. He's that's not that player. He's gonna have games where he goes on and off, where he'll have 4 points and then da da da. Da. Like no, no, no. Just tell him all you need is to build good guys around him, and I think you have to find guys within the same age range, which is why you let Fred go, OG go, all the other stuff. But if these guys were younger, you can literally keep them and build something. But they were too old, so I get it.
I know they were clashing. Probably the views, maybe the lifestyle too, of how you're supposed to conduct yourself as an NBA professional. And you know what I mean? It's like you're young, you're 20, you're 21, you're just able to drink, right? So it's like, okay, you got all this bread now. It's like, okay, let me have fun with it. Understandable, right? You're
That's what
20,
makes the Houston Rockets work. That's what makes them work.
22 and younger.
And
You're
then
right.
and then it's Fred and Jeff Green, who are your vets, and Dylan Brooks, and everyone listens to them. The coach said we have young guys and we have vets. Hey, young guys, listen to your vets. With the
Mhm.
Raptors, they did not say that. They from that time were like, it's Scotty's team, Pascal. We're just looking for you. We're looking to trade you. We don't care. OG, we're looking to trade you. Like we said, it was Scotty's team. Thanks, Dennis, for
It's been on the
showing.
billboard. Yeah,
Like, yeah, they picked Scotty. The moment he won Rookie of the Year, they pretty much said like we're done with everybody else. We're done. So we're like Houston. They're like Fred is here. He's not going nowhere.
but I feel like Udoka's more. You're not gonna fuck around with
You're not
Udoka. Like Nurse, I don't know, but Udoka, you're not gonna fuck around.
I don't think you could fuck around with Nurse either. I think once again, I think Masai and Bobby sat down with Nurse and said, "Hey, this is where we're going.
Hmm.
You with it or not?" And he's like, "I'm not. Like, I'm not with it." Because Nurse wants a veteran team. He doesn't want a young team,
It's
right?
tough. It's tough. Like you have your veteran team, but you guys are.
Yeah. Yeah. I think most coaches like if you tell them they have a young team, then give them the leeway to have a young team. But most coaches don't want a young team. They want a
Udoka had a
fucking
young
vet.
team.
But he had other vets.
He had a
And then
couple of vets. He
and your
was
best
coaching OKC all these years. But the OKC's been a young team past few years.
yeah, yeah, but Shea had who? Chris Paul. So he grew up quick with Chris Paul. That's why Wemby and Chris Paul fit so well. Because Wemby's like an adult, right? I think Mike
Wemby's
Conley,
moving like, yo, like fuck all this. Like I'm trying to ball. Like if my team's not coming up, I'm not going on stage or I'm not going to meet this person. My
bro,
team.
you're not gonna see me at no strip club, 100%.
And and the man is 20 or 21, right? And he has that mindset where it's like, yo, to be great, you already know. You
That's why
can't be,
a guy like LaMelo Ball, I get all the talent in the world, but unless you put some vets around them, like legit vets,
yeah. Because there's no vets. Like, because LaMelo right now is just, when I'm watching Charlotte, right? And I'm watching LaMelo. LaMelo can get anywhere he wants on the court
yeah,
anytime. Get any shot he wants at any time. And you could tell he's taking advantage. You know what I mean? You could tell when you see the offense, you could tell he's taking advantage, right? Because there's no vet to be like, okay, I'm not saying he makes bad decisions, but it's not the greatest all the time, right? It's not
yeah,
the greatest, right? You see how Jose, your boy Jose Calderon, what always meant the best decision,
smart
no
decision.
turnover, no nothing. The most playing like you already know. And I like a player to play free like that, but at times it's like you can see why they're not winning games.
And then going back to Houston, Fred doesn't turn over the ball. He really doesn't turn over the ball a lot. So, and that team is a low turnover team. And then who's their best player? Sengun, the European guy. That brother ain't going to no club. The one that has the craziest lifestyle people don't fuck with is Jalen Green, and they want to trade that nigga anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Jalen Green's type of lifestyle is not, I can't say it's not, but he has lifestyle they don't fuck with.
Right. That team that wants to win a title doesn't fuck with. That's why there will be a point where you'll see people try to almost closely turn on Ant. If Ant doesn't change the way he is,
Yeah, he
they'll
needs to.
John Moran him too.
Yeah.
Because look at Ja, look at Zion. They're done with you. They're done.
The league is not done with Ja, I don't think. I don't
Nah,
think.
they're not done with Ja, but they were about to be done with him very soon.
They were about to be. Zion, the league is, because you ask these little kids around still 10 years old who's playing the league, they're saying Ja. They're saying Ja.
Yeah, man. Ja's still that guy, man. Ja's still Ja. Ja's still, definitely still Ja. But yeah, hopefully the Raptors make some decisions. The trade deadline will be fast approaching. Legit, it's definitely fast approaching. Jimmy Butler hasn't been traded yet, so we'll
He
just
made a
have to.
play in a game, and I'm like, am I seeing things?
Yeah, he straight up said, "I have no problem with my teammates. I love my teammates. He doesn't mess with Pat Riley. It's that simple.
That's what it is.
He doesn't fuck with Pat Riley. Pat Riley thinks he's like everything above the sun, and he doesn't fuck with him at all. So yeah. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That was this week's podcast. Next week we even better all the time. But we'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.